Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Classes and uses of crops. Crops are plants which are grown by man for a definite purpose. Crops are classified in various ways, which include according to their practical uses and food values, according to their lifespan, for example, the annuals, the biennials, and the perennials, and according to their structure, for example, the monocotyledons and the dicotyledons, and also according to their geographical distribution, for example, the tropical and the temperate crops. Annual crops are crops that complete their life cycle within a year, while biennial crops are flowering plants that take 2 years to complete their biological life cycle. The perennial crops are crops or plants that live for more than 2 years. Classification of crops based on their economic and practical uses. We have the cereals, the legumes, the vegetables, roots and tuber crops, fruits and nuts, beverage crops, oil crops, and fiber crops. Cereals are plants of the grass family that produce seeds useful to man. They include the corn, the barley, the millet, oats, rice, sorghum, wheat, etc. Their grains are eaten as food throughout the world, and the most widely consumed food grain is rice. Some grains are ground into flour. Bread is made from wheat and rye flour. Breakfast foods, cakes and pastries, and livestock feeds are also made from cereals. The most important cereal crops are rice, wheat, and corn. Legumes. Legumes, or pea family, are a large group of plants that include several important vegetables, trees, herbs, and shrubs. Legumes or leguminous plants include vegetables such as beans, lentils, groundnuts, soya beans, peas, pigeon pea, bambara groundnut, etc., and also plants like acacia, clover, mimosa, etc. Legumes are very important protein sources in our diet. People eat beans, groundnut, that is peanuts, peas in many parts of the world, while clover are used as animal feed. Legume roots have bulbous swellings called nodules that contain bacteria which fix nitrogen. Vegetables. Herbaceous plants that have edible parts are called vegetables. Therefore, vegetables are herbaceous plants that have edible parts. They are usually eaten fresh and green, and they supply proteins and vitamins to the body. They also serve as roughages, which promotes proper digestion of food and good bowel movement. Examples of vegetables are water leaves, the bitter leaf, the garden egg, the tomato, onions, carrots, cabbage, etc. Roots and tuber crops. Roots and tuber crops are crops with enlarged underground stems or roots. They are very important sources of starchy food, and they make up the foods of many people. Examples of stem tubers are yam, cocoyam, and potato. Examples of roots are cassava, sweet potato, and the carrot. Thus, we have the stem tubers and the root tubers. Stem tubers are the yam, the cocoyam, and the potato, while the root tubers are the cassava, sweet potato, and the carrot. Fruits and nuts. Fruits are important sources of carbohydrate and vitamins. They are usually eaten fresh, but some are economically useful as exports in the form of juices. They are usually perennials, that is, they last for more than 2 years. Examples are fruits like guava, the mango, the citrus, the avocado pear, the pawpaw, the pineapple, etc. Beverage crops. Beverage crops are mainly perennials growing into trees. They are used for manufacturing food drinks and beverages. The Cadbury industry in Lagos uses cocoa to produce Bonvita, Pronto, Richoco, etc. Some beverage crops are cocoa, coffee, and tea. Oil crops. Oil crops are crops whose fruits or seeds yield vegetable oil. They are used as cooking fat and in industries for manufacture of soap, pomade, margarine, etc. Examples of oil crops are the oil palm, the cotton, the coconut, the shea butter, the groundnut, the sunflower, etc. Fiber crops. Fiber crops are plants that yield fibers. Such fibers are used for making textiles, twines, ropes, sacks, etc. The textile industry makes use of cotton in weaving clothes. Examples of fiber crops are cotton, the kapok, the kenaf, etc. We also have spices, draw crops, latex crops, and forage crops as crops classified based on their economic and practical uses. Spices. Spices are flavorings made from plants. They are usually dried and ground to powder, either singly, that is either alone or in combination, to give special flavor to food. For example, we have the curry. Common strong spices include the pepper, the ginger, the nutmeg, the mustard, the cinnamon, etc. Herbs such as thyme, the rosemary, etc. produce spices of a delicate flavor. Draw crops. Draw crops are plants that are medicinal, which contain chemical substances that produce an action in the body. The active material is usually present in their roots, their leaves, their seeds, their bark, wood, etc. Examples are the tobacco and the cinchona. Latex crops. Latex crops are crops grown for the collection of a milky juice called latex, which is obtained from their barks. Rubber is used industrially for the manufacture of tires, rubber boots, tubes, shoes, hoses, belts, etc. Latex crops include para rubber and the silk rubber. Forage crops. Forage crops are grasses and legumes used for feeding livestock. Examples are the Imperata cynlerica, the Centrosema, the Calapagonium, the Panicum maximum, etc. Crops are also classified, as we earlier said, based on their life cycles. Annuals are crops which complete their life cycles within 1 year. They are usually grown from seeds. They germinate, grow to maturity, flower, produce seeds, and die within 1 year. Examples of crops that belong to this group are the cereals like maize, rice, millet, groundnut, etc., yam, and most vegetables. Take 2. Yam and most vegetables. Biennials are crops that take 2 seasons or years to complete their life cycle. The biennials devote their first year to vegetative growth, and their swollen roots are full and are used as food, while they delay flowering until their 2nd year. Examples of biennial crops are the cassava, the cocoyam, and the cabbage. Perennials. Perennials are crops which take more than 2 years to complete their life cycle. Their lives cover several growing seasons. Herbaceous perennials generally die down above the ground each dry season after producing flowers and seeds. The underground parts persist until the next rainy season. Woody perennial shrubs and trees maintain a shoot system above the ground all year round. They are also called permanent crops. Examples of perennials are the oil palm, the cocoa, the rubber, orange, mango, pawpaw, banana, etc. Trees and shrubs. Trees and shrubs are woody perennials. Shrubs typically have a number of similar sized main stems, and of course they do not grow as large as trees. Trees are distinguishable, that is, they are different from large shrubs only by their dominant main trunk or stem. Every year, the tree grows bigger and taller while their branches grow thicker. The tips of their branches house growing points which bring about increases in length. Classification of crops according to their value. Food is one of the basic necessities of life, the others being clothing and shelter. Food is very necessary for sustenance of life, therefore we eat to live. Food supplies us with nutrients to support vital life processes and activities. Where there is adequate supply of the essential nutrients in diet, in the correct form and proportion, the food is said to be balanced. These nutrients include carbohydrates, protein, fats and oil, minerals, vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K.